Guys, it's been a minute since I made a video, but I decided to make weekly recaps because last week I felt my videos were very repetitive because I was getting to the groove. Um, but this week, was a direct turnover from like what happened last week. Um, as you know, last week was my first like green week, all green days. Like, whoa, so I think perhaps I was trying to make up for the mistakes that I made last week to improve this week. But I found myself um falling back into old habits or old mistakes that may have followed, right? So for my first trade of the new week on Monday was AVEO, and it was just go back to the daily on this one. It was a short play. I think this was Monday, if I'm not mistaken, or 25th, 26th. Yeah, this is Monday. So I got in short right here. At the time, the RSI was severely high on the daily, so I thought, okay, this looks like a good turnaround. It's definitely overbought right here, and I was like, okay, it's time to go down eventually. And tried to break 81 so many times, although it was an ascending triangle. I was like, I'm going to take it short, right? So I took it short at 72, which is weird. I took it short like right here on the way down. But so it went up, and I took 1,000 shares at the time. So it went up here. I think I was down. It was $400, right? It came back down, and I sold half my position here, looking for the back, but no dice. It came back up, right? Now, here's what I learned from this play. Going through the motions of this, because it's an all day type hold. I had so many opportunities. I had the second opportunity to sell and double my position and be good and gone. I didn't, and then it ended up going all the way back. Right? And I held it through the day, and the next day I had another opportunity to break even, but I didn't. So what I learned from that play was I held too long, like way too long. Then that ended up selling the next day at 201 because I just couldn't hold it anymore. And that's a good idea because the next day it was up to 242 now, and this is Wednesday now, and there's no way I could have taken 3 days knowing that it's at 242, and the first day it drops back down. It's um Thursday, right? That would have just been too much headache. After you hold for so long only to still make a loss becomes severely frustrating. So yeah, so after that, after selling the next day at 202, I think right here, because it was above 2, and I was like, it broke 2, and I was like, okay, it's time to go. I went long at 202 on the next day, Tuesday, and ended up dropping to 292. So I sold my loss, but sold for a loss. Although it ended up, coming back up to 221 towards the end of the day. So I had two red trades on Tuesday. I took MBRX short as well. RX. It's Tuesday right here. Yeah, I took MBRX short from here down. So I made $56, but because I was still in the AVEO trade at that time, it kind of took away for the possible gains that I could have gotten, right? So that was Tuesday. And then Wednesday was my worst day of the year. I think my worst day ever. I typed Wednesday by mistake. My first trade was IDXG. So I come in and I was like, okay, I am down for the count, and this had a big spike, right? And it had pulled back, and it looked like it was on the way up. So I got in 101 because that was the resistance level all through the day, and it spikes up to like 102. Nothing much there. I ended up cutting my loss on this in this red, and that was a good idea because it's been going down ever since. But I remember when I was buying IDXG, I said to myself, IDXG has a ridiculous history of saying it's gonna spike in the morning and go down, spike in the morning and go down. Pre-market, nothing ever really happens, and I still went ahead and bought. So I wasn't really listening to my instincts at the time, and even on my on this chart right here, like it wasn't even above the moving averages. It was just all the signs of, hey, it's time to let this go, were screaming at you. And yeah, so that loss was well deserved, I would say, because I just didn't listen to myself. Now CBI on Wednesday was what destroyed me, and it was many reasons. So the first reason was let's see, CBI had a good strong day the day before, so I was like, okay, it's time for me to watch this. So I tried buying at 9:38, 9:38, so somewhere in here on this candle, at 22:01. Oh no, sorry, at 22, 20, yeah, right here, 51, actually, right above this candle. But I only had 100 shares, so that's what really upset me. So I kept on adding as it went up, came back down, went up, came back down, and it came back up here, and I was trying to get enough to make up for my loss, but nothing really happened. So um yeah, so it ended up coming back down, and by the time I sold, I let it go down almost a point. 2160 something was when I decided to sell, somewhere here. It's ridiculous, right? As if that wasn't bad enough for the day. I'm like, okay, you're down, right? Then I go ahead and buy at 22:01 right here. What time was it? Let's see, 10:20. Yeah, right here. Spikes up to 22.40. I don't take the buy. Ends up crashing back down. I lose 65 cents on that red. At 10:56, I buy again at the up, lose money. I'm buying at the up, lose money. Buying at up, losing money. Like I did that like 5 times, right? I'm not quite sure what's going on with me. So now, recognizing the mistake 100% would be when something is, when you have all these indicators and you have all the things you've learned in your lessons, and like everything is screaming to you and you do the opposite, you cannot be surprised or shocked by the result that you get. And all in all, that led me to having a significant red day of almost $1,500. And then on Thursday, yesterday, I did it again. SPEX was the play for me. I got in SPEX at let's go to excuse me. All right, yeah, we have 1 minute over here. SPEX. So I got in SPEX 5-minute chart. Yeah, right above here. Trying to get in above 46, but I got filled at 50. So I wrote it up to 79. Got some shares. I wrote it up in this candle, and I think I made excuse me, $100 and something on that, 115. And then I said, okay, I'm gonna watch for the first candle to make a new high, get in above there. No dice. Ended up coming back down, sold at 40 something. I should have sold at 60 something because it was a big drop, right? So it comes back and I buy at 29 above this red candle again. Sell through the push, but I'm cutting as it's pushing back up, right? Now the proper way to trade this would have been to get in at 29 and ride it back up to the known resistance, because that's usually what happens on 5-minute setups. I know that, but I didn't listen, right? So now when you look at this first 5-minute candle right here, on the 1 minute you see that it's definitely not moving as it should. So the second mistake was I wasn't watching my 1 minute as well as my 5. Being dynamic really helps the situation, and that really wasn't the way things were going. Yeah, so I watch for the buy, I lose, and I buy for the first 5-minute candle to make a new high. And initially, I was waiting for a confirmation, but I was trigger happy, so I didn't get that. Better buy would have been here at 38.40, at 340 up to 70 or up to 80. Ends up with a high of 46. So like I said, I'm selling into this push. I add on the way, so that's right here. I add on the way at $4 right here. Sell into the push, comes back down. I add again, sell into this push, right? And then it drops down, then eventually spikes back up to 475. And I take advantage of the ups and downs of this channel. The problem yesterday was with a small account with share trader, when you take so many trades, after some time they start working against you. So because I didn't have like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 shares, and I was focused on the money, I kept on losing as I was selling, because I was selling for 15 when my for $15 when my commissions were like 20. So every sell is leading to like a $5 loss. So it wasn't really doing anything for me, although I played it well, right? Last trade, then I took MBRX after the halt for a quick pop. So I knew like here I was going to be in and out, and I should have done that pretty quickly. So I got at 65, 67, sold at 70, and I tried to get out here, no dice, but I cut my losses quickly, and I was like, okay. I ended up losing $15 when I could have gained a lot more. Yeah, so that was a really bad week on my part. Now going over what happened last week and this week, let's see how many trades I took. I took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Took 24 trades this week. Last week I took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I was good on all. So goal for next month is to take how many days trading next month? I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 23, 24 trades max next month. So my week is gonna be my month next month. Because we have 4th of July weekend and all of that. So I want to take only 24 trades next month. Clean, 100% like sniper formation. I think that's a better way to play, and I'm going to be able to grow my account a lot steady and better that way. So that's the goal for next month, 24 trades. Yeah, so that means it needs to be as special as possible. So I hope you guys had a better week than me, and I hope that you guys have a better month and better months going forward. But I make these videos to show that going through in the beginning, when we're starting to trade, emotions and everything play a big part, and sometimes we need to listen to the voice inside of us so that we can move forward and understand, you know, everybody, it's a learning process, and you can make it really if you put your mind to it. So for others out there losing as well, when you see the gurus, like the trade gurus and others like mentors winning, they also went through this, but I guess they didn't have the opportunity to show the actual losses. So they say it, but you never get to see it. So maybe someday when I become a guru, you guys can come back and look at like the days when I lost a lot of money and say, okay, this guy really knows what he's talking about because I've been there, so you can, I guess, understand and grow together. So yeah, so I'll see you guys again next week for another for 5 trades. Oh, sorry, 3 trades because this is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I guess. Yeah, so 3 trades, all green. Let's get it. I'll see you guys next week.